everybody, welcome back to another video. And this video is going to be kind of wild because I went to hit the video. It was very, very cold, and I went to hit the camera. And after 3 days of being in the cold, didn't turn on. It's dead. So we have to kind of do it this way. And these deer that I shot a buck and I shot a doe within 15 minutes. I do have a little bit of footage that we took, but this is actually going to start 3 days prior. We were hunting. Dad was hunting down a little bit from me. He was hunting down on the ridge side. So you'll see in the video, that the one video I took of the doe, you'll see what I'm kind of talking about. He was hunting behind me down probably about 150, 200 yards. And he was hunting down there. I was hunting the ridge side down on the ground. But we have a tree stand that was about 200 yards. We knew they were running this ridge down where Dad was, and we weren't sure if they were coming down to our tree stand. So one night we kind of just picked a night, and we were like, "Hey, we're gonna go stay in the tree. We're gonna go sit in the tree stand." So I sat in the tree stand, and a couple doe came down off the hill. Okay, so she was right here on the other side of that tree right there. Well, that's laying down. And she came down. I shot her there. Looking for the arrow. I don't see it. Ran over to here, and right there she lay. Not far at all. Actually, you can see everything there to there. You can see how little of a distance it is. It's only about 90 degrees the way the crow flies. I guess that would be the right word. So we already went over and looked at her. She's dead. I'm gonna go tag her quick. I had to come up here and get rid of the rest of my stuff because I just ran down in a blade of glory. Dad's over getting his stuff. We're gonna drag her out here quick. It's pouring down rain here. And Dad and I don't like to hunt in rain, but it's meat in the freezer, and they were coming down. Either way, I was gonna shoot them. So we'll go over to where she's at. After that video was made, I get down. Dad was over to my right. I get down, and I go to tag her. I actually just filled the tag out. I put the slit in her ear. I'm just getting ready to roll her over to pull her legs so I could gut her, and I hear snap to my left. And what do I see? Okay, so in that video, you can clearly see the rain's coming down, and you can see there's horns. So maybe what I should have told you guys before all this started was I got down out of the tree. I put my crossbow probably about 20 feet to my left because I didn't want to trample on it, and I didn't want Dad to trample on it coming back to the doe. So now I'm sitting there next to the doe, watching this buck come towards me, and he's coming. So I have a couple of decisions to make. The first decision is, do I let him come towards me and I just don't do anything? That was the decision I made for the first 30 seconds. Or do I make the smart decision, army crawl towards my crossbow and try and shoot this deer? That's not the decision I made. The decision I made was this. As I'm watching this buck come towards me, I realized, because he came down off the ridge, just like the does did. They came down off the ridge, and he was walking towards that opening that you could see in the first clip. And I thought, well, he's just going to walk by me, and I'm not even going to get shot at him. Well, doesn't he walk behind that tree and turn directly towards me? And now we're watching each other. I'm hiding behind a tree, and he's walking straight towards me at about 40 yards. So at this point, Dad is to my left now, the way I'm sitting there at the deer. Dad's now to my left. This deer is now directly in front of me, 40 yards, and my crossbow is up in front of me to my left about 20 feet. So I sit there for about 30 seconds and watch this deer and realize he is walking straight towards me. There is nothing I can do except either scare him off or get up, walk to the crossbow, and try and shoot him. So the decision was made. I stand up, no joke, stand up, and the deer's got his head down and he goes like this. And he looks up at me and he goes, and he starts walking towards me. And I was in disbelief. What is going on? So I wait a couple of seconds. He puts his head back down, and I take a giant step towards the crossbow. Picks his head back up. He looks directly at me again. Puts his head back down. Walks a couple steps towards me. I'm in disbelief of what I'm saying, of what I'm seeing now. I walk closer to the crossbow, and as I'm walking closer to the crossbow, it's becoming imminent that he doesn't care that I'm there. So he doesn't care that I'm there, and I certainly don't care he's there. So this is all starting to play out. Probably a minute has passed now, and it's now at the point that I am within 6 feet of this crossbow, and this deer is probably 18 yards away from me. And we're directly eye to eye to each other. So I realized that I now have to, I look over at the crossbow, it's not cranked. I didn't do anything to this crossbow. It is exactly how I shot it. So I'm sitting there, and I finally just mustered the nerve to walk over to it, put it down, pull the crank out. If you don't know what I shoot a Raven R26X. So I pull the crank out, which is not easy to do it when you're shaking. I pull the crank out. I crank it up, and if you don't hit, there's like a limit switch on the back side of the Raven. If you don't hit that limit switch, you can't flip the safety off and you can't shoot the arrow. So now I have to remember to pull this all the way up to the limit switch, push it in so I can now flip the safety off, knock another arrow, and this buck is coming at me and he's watching me. So he's coming at me and he's watching me, and at this point, I don't care anymore. I don't care what's going on. This deer is going to get shot because he's in the kill zone. So he's walking towards me. I crank it up real quick, limit switch. I flip safety off, pull the next arrow out, knock the next arrow. I pull up, and what I see in the crosshairs is this, because I'm shaking so bad. I can't believe what's going on. Mind you, Dad is behind me, has no clue what is going on. And I hear him stumbling behind me, walking through the woods, which I don't mind because he knows I have a deer dead next to me, and he has no clue this buck is coming. So now I have to yell to him, and he's now yelling back at me because he can't hear me. It's pouring down rain. And I yell, "Stop coming towards me. I have a buck directly in front of me." And the buck just stands there and he goes like this. He goes, doesn't care. So I pull the crossbow up. I take a couple deep breaths, and he is directly in line with me. Directly, like straight. There's no shot I have to shoot him other than shooting him straight in the chest. So I calm my nerves. I look at the pin, pull the trigger. And immediately when I pulled the trigger, I immediately thought I made the biggest mistake of my life, because I have a deer dead beside me. It's pouring down rain, and I just shot this deer in the chest. And I didn't see the arrow come out of him. I have no clue where this deer is going. So immediately I throw the crossbow to my left. Dad runs around the side of this tree where it opens. Behind us is laurel, and then you got to like walk around this tree and you can see everything that I see. And he comes around, and I'm gunning towards this buck because it is now pouring down rain, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose this buck. So we come to the consensus that now I'm calmed down because Dad is running after me or running after this buck, and he's telling me to stop. So I stopped, and I said, okay, well, I know it went here, here, and here, and it went to this side of the tree. After that, I have zero clue where this deer went. I don't even know what's on the other side of this. Never even looked in my life. I have no clue. So I said to Dad, we're sitting there, and we now have a huge dilemma. We have one deer dead. We have one deer that's on the loose. And we have zero clue what kind of shot was made on this deer. So we come to the consensus, we got to go back to camp for help. Which luckily, by the grace of God, thankfully, we were only about 10 minutes walk, about a 7-minute run from camp. And so Dad made the decision, hey, I'm going to go back to camp and get help. You got the doe, and I'm going to go back to camp, take all of our gear. I'll leave your book bag, take your jacket, I'll take all your stuff. I'll take all my stuff back to camp, I'll get help, and I'll get back. And the funniest part of this entire story is if you know my dad, he does not run. And they said when he got back to camp, the camp guys said that when he got back, they literally thought I was dead. Because Dad was sweating, and Dad was out of breath, and he couldn't talk. And the camp members were very, very worried and concerned that something bad was going on. So finally, when Dad calmed down and everything was good, he told them, hey, we got deer that are dead, and we're worried about losing them. And they understood, and everything was good and stuff. And by the time they had a team assembled, there was like 7 or 8 of them, including Dad and I. And they come out to help us. By that time, I already had the doe. I didn't even gut her. I picked her up, and I was like, all right, she's not that heavy. And I drug her all the way to the woods, to the end of the wood line where we were at. And they came over. A couple of guys got her and took her back. And then the retrieval process of the buck started. And we go back to the scene of the crime. I mean, there's blood everywhere. And I didn't even notice it, but there's blood everywhere in where I shot him. I didn't even know that. So we go back, and now I'm in another dilemma because I've now shot 2 broadheads, and I have no broadheads left. So luckily, Dad was smart enough to bring another broadhead because I would have been SOL with a field tip. I would have been trying to shoot again with a field tip, which is not good. So we load the crossbow with another arrow just in case, because we weren't really sure what was going on. And we walk back to where it is, and I'm standing there, and we walk towards where he went around this tree, and it opens up, and there he lays. I seen him not even 60 yards from where I shot him, not even. And he was laying up on the hillside, and it was a beautiful shot. I hit the heart, the top of the heart. I hit the top of the heart, and I hit the left lung. It would be actually his right lung because I was looking at him. It was my left side, his right side. It went up through the heart, and it hit the left lung. It was stuck in his lung when we got him, and it hit the lung, and it went right through his lung. Actually, it went right through his lung, and it was stuck in his hind quarter. And we were looking for the arrow, couldn't find the arrow anywhere. And when Dad pulled around, when Dad went to gut him, there the arrow sat. But Dad and I have said a couple of times that, the best footage was never captured. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will put the pictures up of the buck and everything that we took. I'll put all the pictures up on so you guys can see it. But it was definitely a wild night, and it's a night that I'll remember for a long, long time. I'll tell my kids about this. I'll tell this story at deer camp for a long, long time. But man, it was a fun night. I'm getting a thumbs up from Dad here in front of me. He's giving me a thumbs up. He enjoyed it, and hopefully we can kill some more. Rifle season's coming up. Actually, yeah, rifle season today is Friday night. Actually, tomorrow rifle season opens. So we'll be getting to bed here soon to go to open up for rifle season. But man, it was a fun time. But I'm sure somebody will say that the story's not true. I was there. I lived it. But it was a fun time. It was a fun time, a fun night. That's why you guys keep your eyes peeled and keep your ears on, because if I wouldn't have heard a snap, I never would have known he was there. So keep your eyes peeled. You never know what's going to happen in the woods. You could just shoot 2 deer in 15 minutes. It's you never know. But it took 10 years off my life and gave me a lot of stress for 15 minutes. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on another one. Hopefully we'll shoot some deer during rifle season, and I'll make sure that cameras are charged this time and stay warm. Thanks. See you guys on the next one. We want to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to keep your eyes peeled. We'll see you guys on the next one.